Hey guys, my name is Mysca, welcome to HitScan and to another content calendar style video. We make these when the future is a little bit uncertain, and I noticed recently people have been looking for info on a new map for Overwatch. Not sure what that's about, but I've been seeing more and more comments and Google searches about that. So I wanted to kind of lay out the whole plan of what we know and what we don't know, so you guys know what's up. So right now we're in a pretty calm period with Overwatch. The developers have said that they're gonna go a little bit quiet after BlizzCon and of course over the Christmas period like they always do, especially with all the Overwatch 2 stuff they revealed. However, going into next year, we will see events continue as per usual, and as Jeff said at BlizzCon, we will see the same live service continue for Overwatch. Now, regarding another hero being released and all that stuff, it's a little bit sort of up in the air, and maybe Blizzard don't even actually know, but we're gonna get to that later. We're gonna begin with the fairly sure dates that we know about, starting with events. First off, we have of course the Chinese New Year event. This is the first one of every year, and the next Chinese New Year hits on the 25th. I believe it's called the Zodiac Cycle, and right now we are looking to be entering Year of the Rat. So that's most likely what the event will be called, and we will get some cool skins around that. It's a little bit weird that we just got a Rat King Reaper skin as kind of a coincidence there. But yeah, either way, you will most likely be getting that around those sort of dates. If we look at January, you can see that January 25th is on a Saturday, so the event will most likely come maybe January 21st on that Tuesday, as Blizzard will most definitely be back from the Christmas break around then. But say that they don't want to run the event for too long, maybe they would even start it on the 14th. I think the most likely dates for this event to start is either the 7th, 14th or 21st. With that, we should get a bunch of new epic and legendary skins, of course, along with some challenges to get those skins throughout the event. The new skins aren't that much work for Blizzard as a whole. They create the concepts and then they outsource most of the skins to, I believe they're called Airborne Studios or something. Sorry if I got that wrong, I'll try and show them on screen. Either way, that should happen around that time. The event after that is the Archives event. That usually happens around April. The dates shifted a little bit and the content of it, but this time around we know that the content of it won't shift, unfortunately, as we will not be getting a new Archives event. This was confirmed at BlizzCon, as they're working on Overwatch 2 and they're focusing all of their sort of story and lore and more narrative style gameplay to Overwatch 2 rather than putting anything into current Overwatch, which makes sense if you ask me, and I'm not too upset about that. Just gonna have to wait a little bit longer there. Okay, any events after that, the anniversary and of course the summer games and all that, is a little bit too far into the future for me to get into, but you know roughly which ones they tend to hit. I will mark them on my sort of calendar, but I won't be going through them. Next up, let's talk maps. So first off, at BlizzCon this year, we didn't really get anything for current Overwatch actually. We didn't really get a new map, a new hero, or a new game mode, or a new feature either actually, which I personally was quite surprised by, as that's left Overwatch in a bit of a slump at the moment. It's quite nice to have the meta changes be fairly extreme, or at least be more of an overall overhaul to Overwatch like the shield changes. But as a whole, we haven't really gotten any new content. This is what makes me believe that they are gonna push for new content for current Overwatch somewhere in the first quarter of next year. It would make a lot of sense to bring a lot of eyes back to current Overwatch, as they are still working on Overwatch 2. Blizzard are pretty good at going into these cycles of not having much that's happening and being very quiet, and then all of a sudden, bam, big release, that sort of stuff. They do a lot of it. We have seen maps that have been announced at BlizzCon or teased at BlizzCon be properly released in January before. Blizzard World was released in sort of late January, and then we actually had Paris in mid-February roughly last year, or well, this year, but it'll be last year by the time that happens. Well, whatever, you know what I mean. Point is, late January, early Feb, mid-Feb, that sort of timing seems roughly the correct one for a new map. Now, if we talk about the event that we just mentioned there, the Year of the Rat event, it makes more sense to put the map release into February at some point, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the map sort of hit somewhere around February, but this is probably the biggest area of contention, as we don't know anything about a potential map drop. It could be that they're waiting to introduce new game modes or maps for Overwatch 2 and they're not going to do anything before then, as they have Push and a bunch of maps that they revealed around that already in the works, which I wouldn't really have a problem with, to be honest. I feel like we do have enough maps. I like new maps for the sake of adding to the Overwatch world, the lore, and just having something cool new to look at, but I wouldn't really have a problem with them holding back on maps. I'm gonna get back to Push in a little bit because there's an important discussion to be had there around how they're gonna add that in and what they've said about that in the past. But before then, let's go to the next bigger content drop, which is of course a hero. So map and hero are kind of the bigger content drops that we've gotten for Overwatch over the course of the past few years. And with a new map being a little bit up in the air due to Push, more eyes are landing on a new hero. Since we didn't get anything at BlizzCon, and we're now entering a time of Blizzard just being kind of chilled out and not really saying or doing that much with current Overwatch, or at least releasing much there, I would not be surprised to see a hero hit in this first quarter. They normally have a character, and it would be either a hero or a map, in my opinion, in February. That just seems very likely. If I had to put money on what would be released in February or what would happen with Overwatch in February, I would say either a map or hero will be revealed / teased or released even. If we look at hero releases in the past, this year, 2019, we had Baptiste February 25th, and we also had Brig the year before that on February 28th. So that lines up fairly well with being in Q3, not really clashing with that first Chinese New Year event. So late February also seems likely. If I had to predict a date right now, I would say the 25th of February 2020 for a new hero to be properly released / revealed. Kind of like on the PTR initially and have that first trailer but not put on live just yet, that type of situation. Who it would be, we don't know. Echo still seems pretty likely, and I think it would help with Overwatch 2 hype, yet also focusing on Overwatch 1 and showing the player base that they still care about Overwatch 1. So I think it would be just a really good move overall like that. But to manage expectations there, nothing has really been confirmed. Everything Jeff has said about a new hero is that there is at least one planned from now to when Overwatch 2 comes out, so it's really hard to say exactly what that means. It could mean that they have one that they are pretty much done with, and then maybe they will work on another one, as it maybe is a sort of 6-month process if they have a base concept to start off with. There's a lot of misinformation kind of flying around. It's not confirmed that we will only be getting one hero from now to when Overwatch 2 comes out. That's not really set in stone. But yeah, like I said, map or hero in late February seems likely. Let me know what you would like and what map or hero you would like in the comments below. We'll see which ones get the most thumbs up, so which ones are kind of the most popular ideas there. After that, the next hero release is usually in June, but I don't really have to spell this out too much for you, as we don't know enough about that far in the future. And I also feel like it is a little bit too ahead in time to be talking about right now. Whilst I'm on it, I'm also gonna just highlight these last few months of the year as Overwatch 2, November, December, hell, going into 2021, we could be getting Overwatch 2 around that time. And I don't think Blizzard would drop big content for current Overwatch around that time either, so I'm just gonna mark those as Overwatch 2 months for the moment. Alright, getting back to Push, I wanna talk about Push, the game mode being added to maybe current Overwatch, and the Overwatch League questions that have sort of stemmed from that. So Push is a new game mode that's coming either before or with Overwatch 2. There's not really an official word yet, but it hasn't specifically been said that Push will not come out before Overwatch 2. There's also been said that we will probably get an engine upgrade for Overwatch 1 before Overwatch 2 is out. It'll probably need a lot of testing, and it makes sense for that to happen, and it could be that we get basically a pre-patch for Overwatch 2 where we get everything that will be shared. So the new overall look, the new engine upgrades, and of course the game mode and maps there. That would make a lot of sense in my head, and it will also work well as a promo for Overwatch 2. But Push will probably not be part of Overwatch League Season 3, and I'll tell you why it makes a lot of sense. I don't think anyone really expected it to be. There's not been an official word on it, but it would just not make any sense to add it, as if they are still trying to test the new maps for Push and such, like they said they were, then how would they even roll this out to the players to test out and practice and scrim for Overwatch League? It'd be really cool to have a Push show match reveal on stage at a bigger venue for a lot of people to enjoy as their big reveal for that mode, but I think even that might be pushing it, to be honest. You see what I did there? Anyway, point is that Push just doesn't seem likely for Overwatch League or for it to happen anytime super soon, but later into the year before Overwatch 2, I could see that being added. Push being part of Overwatch League Season 3 though, I really don't think that's gonna happen, especially as with Season 3 they have a lot more stuff to worry about with more localization, more venues and events to happen around the world. So yeah, a lot of things and a lot of balls to juggle there. Doubt they would throw that into the mix as well. Okay, so that's essentially it for the content calendar and what to expect with future content. As of right now in December, I don't think there's gonna be anything more crazy being added for Overwatch. Maybe we'll see a cool Christmas stream with Jeff hanging around, who knows. But until then, thank you very much for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed, and until next time, see ya!